Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I have the pleasure to be joined by 6-0 middleweight contender Mark Dickinson. Mark, how are you today, mate?
I'm good, mate. How's you?
I'm very well, thank you. All the better for talking to yourself. Well, before we jump into your big fight news that dropped the other week, I do want to talk about your previous performance. I mean, a career best performance against a tough Grant Dennis. There was a bit of needle going into the fight, but it's a fight that you talk the talk and you walk the walk going into it.
Yeah, I feel like that was the kind of performance I needed at that stage of my career. I think I had some okay performances before that, but I never really showed what I could really do, and I think that was a small glimpse of what I could do. Um, Taking nothing away from Grant Dennis, though, I'm under no illusions. He's at the end of his career. You know what I mean? I'm on my way up, so I can't really take too much away from it. I think it was a fight that I was meant to look good in, and I did, and so just gonna look on to the next.
Definitely, mate. When you put on performances like that on the stage that you did, does it give you fill you full of confidence going into obviously this massive fight news, or is it one like you just say you want to take one step at a time?
It's just kind of one step at a time. Like I can perform like that in the gym every week, but it's just nice to do it under the bright lights and in front of everyone. But yeah, I don't really take too much away from my last performances because I'm always thinking I'm only as good as my next fight because the last one's already done. So we'll see how good I am next time.
Definitely. We'll talk of next time. Obviously, big news fighting in Tokyo on Matchroom's PrizeFighter tournament. I mean, there's been a lot of noise about this, mate, but I'm one that I'm sure you're buzzing for.
Yeah, yeah, I can't wait for it as well. Can't actually pronounce my opponent's name, but got a good fight first. So no, looking forward to it.
Definitely, mate. I'm going to try and pronounce his name in a minute. I'll give it a good go. But before we get into it, why was this? Why was fighting in the Prize Fighter tournament kind of the right opportunity for you, especially when the fight with Grant Dennis was an English title eliminator as well? Why was the Prize Fighter tournament the best thing for you?
Well, I just think it was an opportunity I couldn't really turn down. If I go and win this, I'm probably going to be on the world stage or at least European title level. And there's nobody in the tournament that I've looked at and think I can't beat. Like at this stage in my career, like I didn't have to go in. I've had 6 fights. You know what I mean? It's not a thing that I've had to do. I could have went my English title route and went and earned my stripes. But there's no one in it that I don't think I can beat. Yeah, they might have a bit of experience on me, but I think ability beats experience every single time.
Definitely. Obviously, you've touched on your opponent there. You're fighting Anauel Ngamissengue. I think I've said that correctly. Obviously, French
Yeah.
middleweight. I mean, coming off a great win in Poland. Obviously, do you know much about him? Obviously, a lot of people are saying he's the quote unquote favorite, but what's something that you'll probably disagree with.
Well, I totally disagree with it, to be honest with you. I think he's very one dimensional. I think he's very muscle bound. I think he looks like he lifts a lot of weights, and you might be big and strong, but you can't put muscles on your chin, and you can't. Your muscles don't make your heart any bigger. That's the way I see it. He still fights as an amateur. He represents Congo in the amateurs. So will he do the ground rounds too good? I don't think so. He lost the last 3 or 4 rounds in his last fight against the Polish fella. He dropped him down. He dropped him twice in round 3 and still won on a majority decision. So is he the favorite? Really? No.
Definitely. Are you saying your experience kind of going the longer rounds and in the pros going those further rounds will be the edge kind of in your first fight in this tournament?
To be honest with you, I just think that there's not a he will not be willing to go to the places that I will be to win the fight. I think he's a bully fighter. I think he likes it all his own way. And when he's not getting his own way, he's going to spit his dummy out, and we'll see that halfway through the fight.
Definitely. Well, we're looking forward to see it, mate. Obviously, you just touched on it a bit there, kind of. Obviously, everything going your way in this tournament, and you do win it. Obviously, you've mentioned the names. Obviously, it'll put you onto that fringe world level, kind of European scene as well. Is that definitely
Yeah,
something you'd push for afterwards?
no, definitely. I think, look, obviously, I'm not going to be fighting for English titles if I win the Japan tournament, am I? So we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. Like, I've got to beat this fella first before I even think about winning the tournament or getting to the semi-finals. Like, I've got to beat this fella first, so it's one step at a time. But let's put a scenario I do win the tournament. I highly doubt I'm going to then go and box somebody else. Brad Paul's for an English title. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Definitely. Either way, 2020. Well, going into 2025, obviously, I imagine this tournament takes up the whole of this year. But going into 2025, isn't it? It's going to be an exciting time for yourself.
No, it'll be an exciting time as long as I win. As long as I win the prize fight. Nothing's guaranteed. It's a fight at the end of the day. Anything can happen. But I'm more than confident that I'm good enough on my night and on my day to beat anybody that's in there.
Definitely, mate. And obviously, in kind of a normal situation, obviously you have one fight and then you'll kind of wait a couple of months and then you'll have another fight. And you can kind of it's easy to kind of space out your career. But obviously, in this tournament scenario, you kind of know who you're fighting if you win. And
Yeah.
it's kind of structured. How kind of important is it for you to remain kind of focused on your opponent when you know kind of what's next? Is that difficult for you?
Not really. I think the amateur experience probably helped with that because you're boxing over 4 and 5 days in a row, and if you win that day, you've got to box somebody else the day after. So, but there's no second fight if you don't win the first. That's the top bottom. If you don't win that first fight, I've got to treat this fight like it's the final.
Definitely, and we're looking forward to it. I mean, it was such huge news, and obviously yourself, Kieran Conway, and Aaron McKenna, kind of some Brits on the card as well. It's
No,
an
of course,
exciting
yeah,
time and some exciting fights for yourself.
definitely, definitely.
Definitely, I do. Well, I think we're bruised through my questions, Mark. I've got final two. Obviously, I do want to touch on your manager, Sam Jones. I mean, he was on fine form. I mean, yesterday at the Taylor Catchall press conference. I mean, how does it feel to kind of have a manager like that, obviously supporting his fighter like he does Jack Catchall? It must be nice to have him on your team as well.
No, no, definitely. Sam does a brilliant job at promoting the fights and everything, and he doesn't give a fuck about people giving him shit. And that's what he's there. That's what he's there to do. Isn't he? He's there to get people talking. He's the best at his job, and I appreciate everything he's done for me and that. And he's doing a great job with everyone.
He definitely is, and obviously, and Mark, yeah, as I said, we've breezed through my questions. Thank you again for giving me your time today. Any final words of all your fans waiting to see you, see you in Tokyo, maybe traveling out there as well?
No, big thank you to everyone who supported me. Everyone who's going to fly over. I've got some close family friends who's going to be coming over to support me over there. So I couldn't thank you. I couldn't thank you enough. And I'll definitely be coming back to the Japan Prize Fighter champion. But just to add, I'll be the third Dickinson to win a prize fighter.
Wow.
My dad's two brothers both won the prize fighters that was over here, so I'm going for the third.
Well, I mean, I'm going to follow up that with a question. I mean, what would it mean to you to kind of bring back that history back to your family as well, mate? It must be even more added motivation.
No, no, definitely more added motivation and to do it on a bigger scale, international scale, doing over 10 round fights as well. Because do you remember the old prize fighters or not?
I don't, to be fair. I think I might have missed them.
They,
So
they used to do they used to do like 3 fights in one night, three rounds each fight. It
wow.
was put on by Matchroom, you know what I mean? So when they won, they both won that. Actually, won Coach John Lewis and Travis Dickinson to them to follow up and we're not on the biggest scale in Japan would be amazing.
I mean, mate, I'm definitely going to promote that bit of history for yourself, mate, because that's a great place to end as well. But Mark Dickinson, thank you very much, and best of luck in the prize fight tournament, mate.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you for having me on.
Cheers.